Hey y'all, this is the lecture video for multi-step conversions in the US and time. All right. And I warned you this time is coming and today is it. So today you're going to learn how to convert between units that require more than one step by multiplying by conversion factors. So our first one we're going to do is we're going to review our one-step conversions. Before we just jump in at this, we're going to review our one-step conversions. Remember to convert units, we multiply by a fraction called a conversion factor. And to set that up, we always have to start with what we're given and then using the conversion factor to convert to what they want us to give them. So bear with me as I'm just using these notes and writing on here. So we want to convert 3 feet to inches. And we always start with what we're given. All right, we're starting with 3 feet. And I'm just going to use the abbreviation for FT for feet. Now, I need to convert to get rid of feet and give the answer in inches. And I've got a conversion factor here that I can use. I can either have feet over inches or inches over feet. All I need to know is that I need to get rid of feet. That's the first thing I know I need to do because I don't want my answer in feet. So feet's up top, and if it makes you more comfortable, let's put this over 1. There is going to come a time that there will be numbers on the bottom. In this case, there's not. So you can just assume this is over 1 if that makes it easier for you. The next thing is because feet's up top, we need feet in the bottom of the fraction that we're converting to make sure that the feet will cross out when we multiply straight across. Okay, and we want our answer to be in inches. And we have a direct line to get there from 1 foot to 12 inches. I don't ever put these numbers in until I get my units set up first. Okay, now when we multiply straight across, we get 3 times 12, which is 36. Feet up top, feet down low, those are gone, and I'm left with what I wanted, inches. So 3 feet is 36 inches. Okay, let's go to the next one. We're going to convert 96 inches to feet. And again, I'm going to start with, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start with what I'm given, the 96 inches. Always start with what you're given. And then we're going to convert, get rid of inches. Inches are up top, so I need inches in the bottom. Where am I headed? Do I have a way to get from inches to feet? Yeah, right here, right here. So I need to make sure inches will cross out and make sure and have feet in my answers. Once I get this set up, I can plug in my number. 1 foot is 12 inches. Remember, you always multiply straight across. When we do that, the inches are gone, and we're left with 96 times 1, which is 96, over 12. And this is feet. I don't want you to leave it like this. Once you get it into this step here, we've multiplied straight across, 96 times 1, and basically 1 times 12. Now we have to divide this. You do not leave it in a fraction. No fraction answers. It's only going to be decimals or whole numbers. So 96 divided by 12 is going to be 8. So 8 feet. All right. Keep going. Maybe I can do this. So the next one. Now we're going to start the chain rule for multi-step conversions. I said sometimes we can't get one from one unit to another in one step. Instead, we chain these conversions together. We're going to set up, always start with what they give you, and then you're going to have to get rid of what they give you and start heading in the position of what they want, okay? So we multiply several fractions until the units cancel, leaving us with what we want. So here's the setup, and you'll always set it up this way. The starting value unit, you start with what you give you. That's your starting value unit, the number and the unit they give you. And then we're going to just start multiplying. Well, you start with the starting unit and go to the next unit. And then we go to make sure we get rid of that unit to get to our next unit. We can do this. Once you learn this step, you can do 6 to 8 of these conversions. All right. Right now, I just want us to get down to where we can do 2. Because that will, once you can do 2, you can do 3, and you can do more. The goal is to continue until you get the unit that's requested all in one continuous line. You will not see me breaking this into multiple steps. That's when mistakes happen. Okay. All right. So looking at example 1, they want us to convert 3 yards to inches. All right, so they want us to start with 3 yards. That's what they're giving us. And we're going to convert to something. Well, I know I'm going to get rid of yards. What do I have? I'm going from yards to inches. I don't have a direct line from yards to inches, but I can go from yards to feet. And when I multiply, the yards will go and I'm left with feet, but I don't want feet. I want inches. So I'm going to have to get rid of my feet, top and bottom, and go to inches. All right. Once you get your units set up to where one on top, one on bottom, one on top, one on bottom, you know they're going to reduce when you multiply straight through. And at the end, you're left with the unit you want. Now is when you can plug in your numbers. But 3 feet is 1 yard and 1 foot is 12 inches. All right, multiplying straight across. Yards are gone, feet are gone. I'm left with inches, so we're golden. 3 times 3 times 12. 3 times 3 times 12 is 108 inches. So 3 yards is 108 inches. All right. Let's go to our next one. It says convert 2 days to seconds. Okay. Again, I'm going to start with what they give me. They give me the 2 days. And I know right out the gate, I'm going to have to get rid of days. But what can I go to? Well, I can go from days to hours. I don't want hours. So they can get me from hours to minutes. I don't want hours, so I want them to cross out. That'll get me to minutes. I don't want minutes. Let's get rid of that one. And then finally, I can get from minutes to seconds. Now, this is the biggest one you're going to see on this information, okay? But I just want to show you, you can just keep adding and keep breaking it down or making it bigger or whatever the case may be to get to the unit you need, as long as you have the conversions. All right, so once I get my conversions set up, days, hours, minutes, I'm left with seconds. That's what I want. Fantastic. Now I can plug in the numbers. 1 day is 24 hours. 1 hour is 60 minutes. And 1 minute is 60 seconds. Now we multiply straight across. 2 times 24 times 60 times 60, and I get 172,800. And days are gone, hours are gone, minutes are gone, left with seconds. Fantastic. Now, what if you put this over 1? It's not wrong. It's just not complete mathematically. If you're going to put this over 1, please go through and write again 172,800 seconds. Do not leave it as over 1. That's not nice math. All right. Now let's go down here to this next one. Now I gave you the conversions in class for this. It says convert 5 miles to inches, and I provided you that 1 mile is 5,280 feet, and 1 foot is 12 inches. And I gave you a hint. We're going to start with what we're given, 5 miles. Always start with what you're given. Sorry. And we're going to get rid of the miles because we don't want miles. And we don't have a way to get directly from miles to inches, so we're going to have to go to feet first, but I don't want feet. I want inches. So we're going to come over here and do feet to inches. When I multiply straight across, mile over mile, feet over feet, we're left with inches. That's fantastic. Now I can plug in the numbers. 5,280 feet is in 1 mile. 12 inches is in 1 foot. When you multiply straight across, like a different pen, my miles are gone, my feet are gone, I'm left with inches. I need to multiply 5 times 5,280 times 12, and I get 316,800 inches. Okay. There you go. Go to the next one. Make this a little bit better. So it's at this point, you should be pausing the video and attempting these yourself. I'm giving you the units here that you can use, and I've even given you some hints. Always start with what you're given, 6 hours. And then make sure that whatever your starting unit is that's at the top, make sure it's in the bottom so that we'll cancel each other out when you multiply. And then that will lead you into what's your next possible conversion. Well, we have hour to minute and we have minute to seconds. So we're going to have to go through minute to get to seconds. So, but I don't want minute. So I'm going to need to make another conversion that gets rid of the minute and moves me to seconds. Once I make sure that those units will cancel and give me what they're asking of me, now is when I go through and plug in the numbers. 1 hour is 60 minutes and 1 minute is 60 seconds. You're going to multiply straight across. When you do this, your hours are gone, your minutes are gone, and you're left with seconds. Let's find out how many. 6 times 60 times 60. So 21,600 seconds. Okay. So for the next one, you're going to convert 2.5 tons to ounces. And I've got your conversions there. Go ahead and get started up. Always start with what they give you, and they're giving you 2.5 tons. It's going to take you a couple conversions to get to the ounces. Pause the video, attempt this one on your own, and then come back to see how you did. So 2.5 tons. I don't want tons, but I can't get to ounces, so I'm going to have to go through pounds. Pound up top, pound down low, and then I can get to ounces. Once I make sure that cross out, left with ounces, now is when I plug in my numbers. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. 1 pound is 16 ounces. We always multiply straight across. When we do that, our tons are gone, our pounds are gone, and we're left with ounces. Using our calculators, 2.5 times 2,000 times 16 is 80,000. So there are 80 ounces, this is weight, and 2.5 tons. All right, let's go to number 4. Again, pause the video, attempt this one yourself. Convert 4 yards to inches. I've given you 2 conversions here that you're going to need. Pause the video and come back to see how you did. Starting with what you're given, 4 yards. I don't want yards. The only thing I can do to get away from yards is feet. I don't want feet, but feet will get me to my inches that I want. Okay, yards, feet, left with inches, cool. So once I get these set up, I can just plug in 1 yard, 3 feet, 1 foot, 12 inches. Multiplying straight across. Yards are gone, feet are gone, we're left with inches. Just need our calculators. 4 times 3 times 12. These are all have been over 1, which makes our lives easier. Not always going to be the case. All right. Next, we're going to do number 5, and I'm going to leave this sitting here for you. Go ahead and pause the video. Did I do this differently? Oh, that was a conversation from Elijah, sorry. Convert 7 miles to yards. And I've given you the units there with conversions to use. So pause the video, attempt these yourself, and then come back to see how you do. You're going to have to go start with 7 miles, convert miles to feet, and then go from feet to yards. Feet to yards. Oh my gosh. 7 miles. A long day. I don't want miles. And I have no way to get from miles to yards. So feet. And then I can get from feet to yards. Cross out, left with what they want. So that's fantastic. Now I can just plug in the numbers. 5,280 feet in 1 mile and 3 feet in 1 yard. Now this one, it has something different. This one, when we multiply straight across, it's 7 times 5,280 times 1 is 36,960. Miles are gone, feet are gone, left with yards. So that's fantastic. But I have something in the denominator. 1 times 3. Remember, you multiply straight across. I have a 3 down here. So 1 times 3 is 3. When you get to this point, don't leave it in a fraction. I do not expect you to answer ever in a fraction for this class. We're only going to use decimals. So now this is the case where you have to divide. When you see a number over a number, that is division. So take that number that's in your calculator and divide it by 3, and I get 12,320. And this is yards. That's how many yards are in 7 miles. All right. Here's another conversion for you, along with one to try. Go ahead and pause the video, convert 1.5 days to minutes using the 2 conversions that I've provided you, and then come back to see how you do. All right, always start with what they give you, 1.5 days. I don't want days, I want minutes, and I don't have a way to get from days to minutes, but unless I go through hours. I don't want hours, I want minutes. So once I cross out, left with minutes, cool beans. Now I just go, well, 1 day has 24 hours and 1 hour has 60 minutes. Multiplying straight across, days are gone, hours are gone, left with minutes. Fantastic. I notice there's only ones in the denominator, so I'm only going to have to multiply here, no dividing. 1.5 times 24 times 60. And those 2,160 minutes are in 1.5 days. All right. Go ahead and note this one. Try to convert 3 tons to ounces. Use the conversion rates, the conversion factors I've given you, and then come back to see how you did. Always start with what you're given. 3 tons. I don't want tons. I can go from tons to pounds. I want ounces. I don't want pounds. I can get from pounds to ounces. Cross out with ounces, so I'm cool. Now I just need to plug in the numbers and multiply. So 1 ton, 2,000 pounds, and 1 pound is 16 ounces. Multiplying straight across, my tons are gone, my pounds are gone, I'm left with ounces. Fantastic. And I just need to multiply 3 times 2,000 times 16. So there are 96,000 ounces in 3 tons. All right. Converting 12 hours to seconds. I've given you the conversions there. Go ahead and pause the video, attempt these yourself, and then come back to see how you did. Okay. Right. Always start with what you're given. We were given 12 hours. We don't want hours. So let's put an hour down here so that they'll cross out. We don't have a direct line from hours to seconds, but we can get from hours to minutes and then from minutes to seconds. So let's do that. Hours to minutes. Don't want minutes. I want seconds. Hour, minute, second. Cool. Now I just plug in my numbers. 1 hour is 60 minutes. 1 minute is 60 seconds. Multiplying straight across. Hours are gone, minutes are gone. I'm left with seconds. I'm just going to have to multiply here. 12 times 60 times 60 is 43,200 seconds. That's how many seconds are in 12 hours. All right, I've got one more on this page. Oh, no, that's it for this page. We're done. It says always line up conversion factors so the units cancel. Write out every step until the unit only left with the unit that you want. And make sure it makes sense. Make sure it makes sense. More inches than feet, more seconds than minutes. If you don't understand that, then let's chat.